Good morning, good Moxie morning. Okay, so I'm going to start doing this every morning at 10 a.m. Central. That is 11 o'clock Eastern and 8 o'clock Pacific. I'm just literally now getting my coffee. I've been going since 8 o'clock. But you know what I want to talk about today, this morning? Hi, Taylor. What I want to talk about today is how to start cutting the fat, because I'm telling you, people tell you all the time that your mindset will make you bank, right? Whether it's getting your mindset in the right place will make you bank. And I'm here to tell you it will. But the key is, and the question that's up in the air is, how do you do that, right? There are so many ways to do that, but making bank in your business, or really connecting with your audience, really connecting with and building your list of leads, all has to do with your focus. And then of course the strategy, or implementing certain strategies. But people tend to not be able to focus. Focus is one of the things that I think is one of the number one reasons that we can't get to a certain level in our business, or we can't hit a certain number, because it does take focus. And obviously strategy is a big part of it, right? You got to know exactly what to do, and you got to know what to do every day. So most entrepreneurs that I talk to, they don't really have an actual clear plan to get to their number goal, to get to their money goal. They don't really have a clear plan. And so when people say that your mindset can actually interfere, it absolutely can. And there are so many ways that it interferes and creates all of these blocks and all these barriers, and it so that you can't focus. Okay, so I want to talk about 3 things that you can do. 3 things that you can do to get to $10 and $15 and $20,000 months in your business, because that tends to be where people would like to be. What you can do is really focus on your focus. Okay, so get really clear on what your agenda is. Well, not what your agenda is, what your intention is. So get very clear about what your intention is. And I'm here to tell you, this is where a lot of people struggle, because they don't always, hi Deborah, they don't always know where they want to go. So one of the first things I will ask my prospect, or someone that wants to work with me, is what number would you like to hit? And over the last few days, I've had, good morning again, I've had the pleasure of speaking with entrepreneurs that struggle with thinking that people will pay them more. And I'm here to tell you that in one particular gal I spoke with, and this is very common, will actually scout out. So she has a service-based business, and she has scouted out. And like I said, this is common. They will scout out different areas, territories, regions to see what the going rate is, what people are paying for a certain product. And I am not of the opinion that this is how you should do it. So obviously you've got to start somewhere, but why would you want to take the average and be average? That is my opinion. So what could she do? That's where we took the conversation. Actually, there were more than one of them that had the very similar, a very similar plan. That's what their plan was for finding new clients and pricing their packages, okay, and their services based on what everybody else was charging. But there are so many things that you can do to basically raise the bar and add more and become basically different, really. I mean, like Coco Chanel said. So really, that is the key. How are you different? Know what your benefits are backwards and forwards. And when you start doing things that others aren't doing, you stand out. Okay, so think about, this is what I've always said in business and what I've always noticed. It is not difficult to stand out and be different with your service. It's not, because most people are kind of flaky. Most people are kind of flaky. So what are some of those things that you can do? Can you be consistent with something? Because most people can't. If you can master consistency, most people can't, and that is what's going to get you the business, right? That's what's going to that's how you're going to stand out and be different, if you simply just showed up more. So one of the ways that One of the suggestions I gave her, for instance, when she shared with me what her approach was, and how and so we went through a process of me repricing her program to give her an idea, right? To get to that $10,000 mark or $20,000 a month in her service-based business. She didn't think it was possible. And after I walked her through it, she saw it very clearly. See, it's all in our head. And for some reason, we tend to want to put ourselves in the same category as everybody else because we think that's what they're paying, so that is what we should charge. Okay? But there are so many ways to raise the bar. There are just so many ways. So be different, be better, be bolder in all of what you do, and you stand out. And here's the thing. Education-based marketing is one of the most powerful marketing that there is. Education-based marketing. If I were to write down all the I actually have a sheet, 101 ways to market your business. If I were to write down all of them, or circle one or two of my favorites and the most effective, education-based marketing would probably be number one. Okay, so what is education-based marketing? Education-based marketing is actually educating people why your product or service works for them, right? Why it works for them, how it works for them, and you've got to educate people on what you do, right? So you got to know what you're selling, and your prospects have to know how you can help them. And many times, they've done studies on this, and 30% of people, this is in regards to education-based marketing, 30% of the clients that need you do not know that you could help them. And that's why they're not hearing you, that's why they're not doing business with you, and you're not there to them because they don't know. So think about that, 30%, I think it's actually a little bit more than that. 30% of people that really need you don't know that you exist. Okay, is that their fault? No, it's your fault. So get focused. So back to what I was saying about focus, the mindset and the ability to focus and the ability to do that. I think that when I say do that, like hone in on a plan, understand what it is that you need to do, boom, 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 right? Just write it down. This is what I need to do. And then pull from my list of 101 ways to market what it is that you're going to do, which I'll tell you the most effective is video. Every client that's ever paid me $6,000, $40,000, $10,000, $11,000, they've watched my videos. They didn't just get on my list and read some emails. They actually watched my videos. They watched it on live stream. They watched me on YouTube. And I started out doing videos right out of the gate because I knew it was most powerful. So that's one of the most powerful ways to market. Use education-based marketing along with your videos, because what does video do? It helps people connect with you. It has nothing to do, people want they want to see you. They want to understand how you can help them, right? They want to know the benefits, but they want to be convinced. I remember many times clients after hiring me would say that they watched my videos over and over and over, right? Before they made the decision, and this was before it was as crowded, okay? So it's even more, it's very crowded. It is, I don't like the word competition, but it's competitive right now. It's very important to get in front of them so that they get to know, like, and trust you. So the power of what's going on when people are looking in your face, hearing you, you educating them, the power of that is unlike any other marketing, okay? It's the energy. People are picking up on your energy. They're picking up, here's another thing they're picking up on. They're picking up on a lot, but they're picking up on whether you believe what you're saying or not. So it's really important that you embrace what you're doing, and that you not only are you excited about it and passionate about it, your topic, but they need to see that you are convinced in what you do. You have to be convinced that what you're doing changes lives in one way, shape, or form, whether you're selling life insurance. Okay, by the way, that's a very emotional sale. It's a very emotional sale. Whether you're selling life insurance, should be an emotional sale. If it's not, nobody's going to buy it, because that's what compels people to buy life insurance. Think about that for a minute, right? So everything should be, everything for the most part is an emotional sale. Maybe not a light bulb, right? Maybe not a commodity, but think about it. Everything is an emotional sale, and people are picking up on emotions. They're picking up on energy. They're picking up on confidence, okay? And they're learning. All of that is done on video. Now, you can send out emails to compel people to click on things, but I'm telling you, when you send out your emails, have them click on YouTube videos, have them click on live streams, okay, and things like that. So put yourself out there, do what needs to be done, and this is going to help you cut through the fat. Okay, so get crystal clear about what it is you want. What number do you want? Do the math. How many packages do you need to sell? And then do the most effective marketing. I don't have the time. Taylor, can you tell me what the time is? I really did mean to cut this. I'm going to do about 20 minutes here. Okay, so if you're not doing education-based marketing on video, you're leaving money on the table. Like, I don't know why anybody wouldn't do it, except it's 10:15. Okay, thank you, sweetie. Except that they are fearful, right? There's a lot of fear in exposing yourself, putting yourself out there, and there is a lot. They see it as a lot of risk. And here's the thing. Here's what you need to do. You need to just do it. There are ways that you can overcome that fear. I'm telling you, there are a lot of ways. And here's the thing. This is what I know. And I think this was Eleanor Roosevelt that said this, and it's so true. Immerse yourself in what you're doing, not how people are seeing you. Immerse yourself in expressing. Immerse yourself in what you're doing, whether you're having a great conversation with someone, whether you're listening to someone, whether you're engaging with somebody. Immerse yourself in that and quit thinking about what other people are thinking of you, okay? So if you immerse yourself online on a video, immerse yourself in your topic, what you know backwards and forwards, that's passion, right? That's the energy that you're going to be putting out, and everybody connects with that. That's what they're going to connect to. So they're not going to be judging you or whatever it is that these fears that come up. They're going to be listening to what you're saying. That is how, it's one of the ways that you can overcome that. Here's another thing. You're not just putting yourself, hi Mark, how are you? You're not just putting yourself out there for yourself, because it's not about you. It's about how you can help your clients. So if you can get in that mindset, okay, step into that mindset, stay in that zone, you will overcome this fear, okay? Because I hate to say it, but it's not about you. Okay, so getting on video is not about you. If you have fears of getting on video, this is no judgment. This is actually human. Okay, I'm just saying. But we tend to need to get over ourselves. Okay, and that might sound harsh, but there's something internally going on, and some of it could just be, you have a habit of hiding. You have a hide. Hi there. Is it Brandy? Is your name Brandy? I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Okay. If you have a business and you know the benefits that you provide, you know that you can help someone, you need to get in that zone and stay there. Because when I say in that zone, in that mindset, and stay there, and that will compel you to take actions you've never taken before. Okay. Many people, especially women, are those that want to help people. Okay, we want to help people. We'll stay in that zone, doing a video, projecting what it is that you do, that is helping people. Okay, so you've got to step out of that. It's all about me. It's all, what are they going to think? You've got to step out of that. I can always tell in a conversation with someone at what level they are in their business and how much money they've made when they struggle with this. When they struggle with the words that they say. If they're still stuck on the fact that their mother-in-law ignores them online, or that their mother-in-law does not accept their point of view. I've had actual nutritionists and I've had nutritionists tell me this, and it's interesting because it tends to be, there is this pattern this is interesting, that it's their mother-in-law. They want acceptance from their mother-in-law, or there's somebody in their family that they want acceptance, and they are literally letting that block them. So somebody that really is irrelevant, would never actually be their client or customer anyway, they're letting that feeling, okay, block them from succeeding and putting themselves on video. So I don't know, Brandy, if you missed what I said earlier, but what you do, I talked about cutting the fat. Okay, get rid of all the things in your day that is just a bunch of fat and doing nothing for you. Okay, I heard somebody say something about visceral fat yesterday, and this is really interesting. And I see it as, I can use it as an analogy. This gal in this video expressed that visceral fat actually becomes an organ and takes on it takes on an objective like an organ. Okay, and that objective, visceral fat as an organ in your body, is doing one thing and it's not helpful. And it's basically killing you. And the way she described that, I was like, wow. Okay, so fat as an organ. So all of the fat that we have in our life, and I'm not talking about body fat necessarily right now, of course, but the fat that we have, like, we need to cut it out. Like the time wasters, the time vampires, the people that are emotionally zapping our energy, keeping us from stepping out there and doing our thing, keeping us from actually doing what we're supposed to do and helping others. Like, why are we even letting any of that around us, right? So really, and a lot of it comes down to they're doing it. We are letting it and allowing it because we don't have the self-love, or we have a fear of any kind of repercussion, right, from that person. Which I have on my list to talk about codependency, because codependency is a big thing, okay? It robs us of so much when we are codependent, and many of us don't even know that we're codependent. We've been living a life of codependency and not even realizing that that's actually one of the problems inside of us that's keeping us from our dreams, keeping us from asking what we're worth, what we are worth, it's keeping us from everything that we really want. I'm reading what you wrote, Brandy. My friend who's also a coach told me to delete them off Facebook if I'm concerned. Yes, it really, and doing that and being okay with it is one of the first steps that you take to take control of it. And you're going to actually feel, you'll start to feel really good about it afterwards, okay? And you'll actually start getting your energy back. You'll be able to step into the role that you're supposed to. It takes a life of its own. Ooh, psychological implications for sure. Yes, the visceral fat. Not giving a crap what people think is key. Taylor, not everybody is gifted in that area. I'm here to tell you. Taylor, you're really good at that, and I think that that is one of your superpowers. And you could really teach people a little bit about that, like how you go about doing that, because it's a process for some people, and it could be just very natural to you. It is a process for some people, especially if they've created a habit around caring what people think. And here's the thing, we have to, I do understand this. I mean, you have to care a little bit about what people think, right? Okay. For instance, if you are projecting yourself, if you've got a business online, you're a coach, you're a nutritionist, you're an expert in some way, so you're a mentor, and you are selling online and you're wanting to, attract business, you really do have to kind of be careful with what you say, okay? Why would you want to come off, when I say be careful with what you say, why would you want to come off in a certain way to detract people from you, right? I just want to address that, okay? So in the one regard, we have to care a little bit what people think, okay? But we go overboard with it, right? You're 80% there, good for you, Brandy. It is a process for most people. And here's the thing, we were actually conditioned. Think about it. If you think about school and how elementary school, I mean, for years, we've been conditioned to care what people think. Really? I mean, even our parents many times taught us to care what people think. I saw it in my parents. It's, we're putting on airs, we're putting on, we need to be a certain way. This is actually, and we're being judged, we're being graded on our work in school. It's all, really. So it's no wonder that a lot of us have gone off the deep end, right? And we've let it basically seep into our psyche. Dr. Phil's successful because of this. Did I ever tell you I met him? I have a picture of him and I. He actually is a really great guy. Not that I didn't think that he was, but very personable, funny, easygoing. He seems like a real hard ass, but he actually was, when I was around him, the energy that I was picking up, he was just super laid back. Anyway, the point that I wanted to make today, how's that working for you? I love that. And I haven't heard him say that for a while because I don't watch him anymore. But start cutting the fat, make a list. Taylor is, for anybody that's on here, Taylor K. Stevens. She is a performance coach, so she knows some of what I'm saying backwards and forwards, right? And she actually will help you. She has this process where she has you take an inventory. And you're welcome, Taylor, to put your link in here to go to your video challenge to kind of help people start the process of taking an inventory of who's in your life, who are the time vampires, and what are some of these things that are stealing your energy, okay, and causing you to emotionally butt up against resistance, because that's what it is. You know, resistance training in the gym, great. Resistance in your life where you're resisting all things good to come to you, you're resisting success. We got to look at that. You have to look at that. So cut out the fat, start doing it one by. There are so many professionals online that have ways to do this, because you can't. And here's another thing: we are all everything is cyclical, right? And so habits are cyclical. To cut a habit or break a habit and to start a new habit takes professional help. With many of us, it takes professional help. And I have another client that does EFT, emotional freedom technique. I almost started tapping emotional freedom technique, and there's a lot of power in that too. So if you've got a deep-seated like habit, or you're not understanding like why do I start and stop projects? Why do I why do I only hit a certain number and then I pull back every time and then go right back into my old way of doing things, my old bad habits? Like, why do I do that? There's something going on inside of you that you need to tap into. Right? No pun intended. But EFT is like tapping. You're tapping on your meridial points. Am I saying that right? Deborah's going to correct me. I'm pausing because I know Deborah's going to correct me. Very similar to chakras, very similar to meridian points. Bring from the south helps too. Yes. I was speaking to someone the other day that was from the south, and she says, "Bless your heart." And I was like, a part of me was like, I know what that means. I knew that wasn't a good thing. And I wanted to tell her, just because I'm a northern doesn't mean I didn't know what you just said, because I'm a Yankee. Okay. Cut the fat. The fat is all things that are creating the resistance, okay? Keeping you from hitting your flipping goals, okay? Get a clear plan. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about what's your strategy for leverage. For those of you that are making good money and then again you just hit a wall and you go down, there are things that you need to do. Let's say you've got a good referral source, people referring business to you, and you notice that it gets choppy, or you notice that your income goes up and down and fluctuates, but you can't really pinpoint what it is. It's typically because you're not putting out a consistent message, okay? And it should be time consuming. This is actually what I'm probably on 20, 25 minutes, and actually it's been fun. I feel like I'm hanging out with my friends. Why can't you do that in your business? You can. You can. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap this up. I hope that you do what you need to do, get the help that you need to cut the fat if you've been unable to do it successfully and sustain a certain level of climbing in the income department or success or whatever it is that you are striving for. If you see that you start climbing the ladder and you fall and you fall and you've been doing this for years, it's not going to change. It's just not. It's not going to change until you get help. One of the most powerful ways is to be in a support group of some kind, and I don't mean hang out with a bunch of people that have problems. That isn't always the best thing to do. Get in a group, okay? Get a coach, a group coach like High Ticket Mastery. It's a year-long program of mine. I have gals in there that we are striving for one thing, and that is to up our income and doing the things and staying consistent. The power of being in a group of like-minded people that are doing what you want, that are going in the same direction that you would like to go or already have achieved it, is where you need to be. That will get you there, okay? Bye, Deborah. Thank you, sweetie.